Good morning, everyone, and welcome to the PivotBoss pre-market video for Wednesday, October 28th, 2020. I am Frank Ochoa, aka PivotBoss. Here's a look at the daily time frame of the ES, and we are seeing significant selling pressure already during pre-market trading. This market, again, turning down this morning and reaching the previous month's close price. That blue dot right there, that's the previous month's close. That's what we talked about before, that at the beginning of the month. If we break higher here, we may see a rejection at the previous high that then return us back to the blue dot just ahead of the U.S. election to basically close break even, and we're seeing that now. Additionally, we also mentioned it could drop this way and then bounce back up to that level as well. Right now, again, seeing selling pressure here after breaking through this narrow range. We talked about quantifying this narrow range and how many points it could be for a move, and again, if we go down here to the 4-day range and bring it up, it'll give us the number of points to watch out for, and we've already really hit it, 130 points. So we've already hit it from the high of that point down, but we could see more weakness ahead. Again, this market right now very, very weak after a strong extreme reversal at the top. We've gotten additional energy built up here, and now we're seeing a continuation down. Again, I mentioned that this was 170% of ADR day. That tends to indicate that more volatility and increased range is coming ahead. And today already at 93% of ADR, so nearly at average, and we haven't even hit RTH session yet. So it could turn into quite the session here to the downside as this thing continues to trend lower. A failure to get back above 33.30 could suggest, at least intraday, could suggest much more weakness ahead. All right, let's take a look now at the NQ. Now, the NQ had already reached the previous month's close a couple of days ago on that 170% of ADR day. We had an inside day formation in the previous session in both of these markets. One thing we talked about was that after this day, price could pull back here, but if there's a failure to find acceptance above the 11.6 level, that could provide an opportunity for bears to jump in, defend, and push this thing lower. We're now seeing a stop run day develop here through the previous session's low, and that could lead to much more weakness ahead. Again, perhaps down into the lows of the month, right at around 11,200. So again, we could be looking at another couple of hundred points of weakness ahead. Perhaps today, and we could get there. Again, right now we're averaging just 235 points per day. We're at 75% of that right now with 175 points of range, and there could certainly be additional range ahead. All right, let's take a look at crude oil. Crude oil also showing weakness. This one rallied in the previous session and got right to the previous month's close price, just shy of the $40 sticky level, and rejected hard, closing lower, and now you're seeing a big run downward. Major weakness here for crude oil as this thing is basically in midair right now, dropping away from the previous close back toward the previous low of the month. So we could be looking at a drop into the 36.50 to 37 zone ahead. Over here in gold, gold has actually broken away from the 1908 level. 1908 is the exact midpoint of the month's range, but we are now about to put a new low in for the month. This is a significant day here, but we've seen these days inside the range only for price to kind of bounce back up inside the range. This could be different if price starts to drop back below the 1874 to 1870 zone, and if it closes below that zone today, that could be an indication of a flush to come. And if a flush comes, how many days, how significant will it be? Again, we could easily drop into this LVN below the previous month's close, and that could provide a nice bounce opportunity back higher. Again, keep an eye on 1820.5 as one of those zones here that could be defended. But right now, 1874 is the bottom of the key range. If it can't hold that level, perhaps we're breaking down out of this narrow range. Holding that level, again, could bounce this thing right back to the sticky 1908 level. All right, that is it for now. We'll see how these play out heading into the rest of the session. Good luck. trade well, and I'll see you in the trading room. Take care.